Amidst the ongoing conflict, significant signs of internal strife and discontent are emerging within Ukraine, challenging the narrative of a fully unified national resistance. Reports indicate a growing number of Ukrainians are expressing disillusionment with the leadership and the war's trajectory, leading to what some describe as a Homefront uprising. The notion that Ukraine is fighting to the last minute solely for Western interests has been vehemently challenged by Russia's UN envoy, who stated that Ukrainians are not your slave, suggesting a more complex internal dynamic than often portrayed. This sentiment is gaining traction among certain segments of the Ukrainian population, particularly as the human and economic costs of the war continue to mount. The initial surge of national unity, while still present, appears to be facing severe tests under the prolonged strain of conflict, with questions arising about the true beneficiaries of the protracted struggle. A notable aspect of this burgeoning discontent is the increasing rebellion against President Volodymyr Zelensky. Whispers and more overt expressions of dissatisfaction suggest that Zelensky's once unassailable position in Kyiv may no longer be entirely secure. The challenges to his authority stems from various grievances, including perceptions of governmental corruption, the handling of military affairs, and the devastating impact of the war on ordinary citizens. As the conflict grinds on, the initial wave of support for Zelensky's wartime leadership is being scrutinized, with some Ukrainians feeling that their sacrifices are not being adequately acknowledged or that their concerns are being overlooked. The idea of Ukrainian revolting against Zelensky points to a growing internal opposition that could potentially destabilize the country's political landscape, even as it battles an external enemy. This internal friction complicates the nation's ability to present a united front to the world. A significant contributing factor to the rising internal tensions is what has been described as a troop rights crisis. Reports from various sources highlight concerns among Ukrainian military personnel regarding their treatment, supplies, and the conditions under which they are fighting. Issues such as inadequate equipment, insufficient medical care, and questions surrounding troops' rotations and demobilization are fueling resentment within the ranks. This crisis directly impacts morale and effectiveness on the battlefield and feed into the broader narrative of discontent on the home front. When soldiers feel their rights are being violated or their welfare neglected, it inevitably leads to a breakdown of trust between the military and the political leadership. Such a crisis of confidence within the armed force could have profound implications for Ukraine's ability to sustain its defense efforts and maintain internal stability. Adding to Ukraine's complex challenges, recent intelligence drops from Ukrainian sources themselves suggest a stark reality on the front lines, contradicting some earlier optimistic assessment. These intelligence reports indicate that Russia's army has successfully encircled several key Ukrainian cities, despite the reported presence of over 900,000 Ukrainian troops. This information points to the significant strategic advancement made by Russian force and the persistent difficulties faced by the Ukrainian military in repelling these advances. The disparity between official narratives and the reality presented by intelligence assessment can further erode public trust and exacerbate internal dissent. The encirclement of key cities implies a tightening grip by Russian force and pose severe logistical and humanitarian challenges for Ukraine, potentially leading to further demands for accountability from the leadership and increasing the pressure on President Zelensky's government to address the mounting domestic unrest. That's all for me for today. If you like the video presentation and you would like to follow for more, hit that subscribe and like button now, and we will continue to build the show for you. Thank you to all of you guys who have subscribed. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much. I will see you soon. Bye for now.